Good morning, everybody. Good morning here from the Philippines. Coffee time. Actually, I'm gonna set this coffee down because I got a weak right hand right now, and just holding this cup of coffee is killing my hand. Oh, whoo. Yeah, buddy. Well, I'll come back to that cup of coffee. I just showed some herbs and spices and all right here, and I want to see who all can name the different plants that I just showed. I want you to take time here on this video, pause it, whatever you need to do, and go to the comments. And I want to see who all can name each variety that I just showed down through there. I'm really curious about that. And we're planting more right now. I just seeded some pots yesterday with some other varieties. So I'm looking forward to those coming up in the days to come. Well, let's get on to the build stuff. But I love growing, I love nature, and maybe some of you that answer some of that, maybe others that don't know, they can learn from it, or maybe it'll trigger something in their mind that they might want to do a little research, or maybe even be inspired to grow something themselves. So guys just got here, they're getting started right now. There's Mr. Mickey Mock, the original Mark Toubon, and he's getting set up before it gets too hot out here. I want him to do this early before it gets just horrendously hot, and start working on putting this gate up. We're doing all these projects while we're waiting for curing to take place. Now, what I want you to do is get that level, and I want you to put the level across the top of this tube, and we want to make sure we hang that gate nice and level. So he'll paint this. He had it down towards the ground. He'll touch up the paint on it afterwards, but we're going to rehang this gate. So there's this gate on this side, and on the other side it's a little walk-through gate on one side, and that's what we're going to work on here right now. So it's made a change from how this gate was originally hung before. But before, the gate was swinging over here, but now if we swing that gate open, it's going to be blocking that seat right there and on that Bakubo, and I don't want that. So I decided that the little walk-through gate too was going to be right here. And you see right now we got a little drop off where we're doing construction for this pond and channel across here. So I said, let's go the other way. Let's swing that big gate to this side, and the little gate right here, people passing through and all through the little walk-through side on it. So we moved it around, see how it worked, and it's going to work absolutely perfect. The gate, you see the concrete sets back right there on the side. The gate will be right back there, not losing any of your width to pull something through or nothing. So I think it's going to work out pretty good. Boy, does the cabin look beautiful or what, man? Just looks absolutely beautiful. That work that Joel did the past couple of days on it, treating all of this bamboo and wood with selenium and then coming back over these top coats, man, I knew that it would make it pop. But boy, I'm pleased with it. He's in here on it right now. Step in here with him for a second. Yeah, I come in here looking at it last night. I'm like, man, that is just beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah, I need to get this room knocked out. All we need to connect just a few electrical, just some basic things. We could have it done just a couple of days. Yeah, and man, we could rent this thing out instantly. We've had people wanting to rent it already. They're just wanting to stay inside of it, you know. This is going to be a non-air con. You see up here how the air can pass through up there. It's got a net in it. So, like a screen, bugs can't get through. And it's lined up so that the blowing rain shouldn't be able to come through. I'm sure if it was a typhoon, it might be different. Same in the back, where to get a draw, letting that heat come out. And I tell you what, this nippa, you'd be surprised how much air passes up right through that nippa. If we was to make something really smoky in here right now and you went outside, you would see the smoke rising out through that nippa right there. And that's part of the things that make these native houses and all really cool. Of course, if they had a mucking walls or bamboo strip walls, it lets the air pass through the walls as well. And also when they do the bamboo floor and it has the little strips in, you know, the gaps in between, once again, it allows for an airflow of convection up through the floor and up to the ceiling. You know, heat rises, pulling that coolness from underneath and the heat coming up out the top. So it's not a full native style. I mean, if we ever wanted to, we could close those off right there and air condition it. But I'd rather not. I'd rather not. The hottest time of the year here is just brief for a couple of months. Of course, we had an El Nino year this year, and so that was a little extraordinary. But on an average year and all, man, this thing's going to be great. It's got the shade of the coconut trees, everything. When you walk in here, you feel it's cooler. It's always cooler in here than outside, isn't it, Joel? Yes, yeah, you can walk in through the door and instantly feel the temperature difference. We're about to be putting those fence panels up. We got it almost ready for them, at least for part of them. And some of them we can't do until we get done over by the pool, because some of them are going right down by the side of the pool there between those columns. And I'm going to have it where I can close up gates, close it up, have it where guests, you know, can open and close the gates are in certain areas, and keep dogs and of course keep unwanted visitors from coming, showing up and getting in that pool. Don't want the responsibility of maybe a child and just wander in. So there'll be two lines of the fence on that when we're done. But the gate coming out to the beach right here and the one going over the bridge, I'm gonna have spring loaded. And the gate down the drive here actually is pretty much gonna stay locked. So when I'm just undo it when I'm taking my boat out. Look at this, man, it's one of those big nails just laying out here. Yeah, so this is a temporary walkway right now, but I'll make a really nice, you know, I'll do it nice, you know I will. I'm gonna do a really nice walkway, a nice broad one, once we get all this situated. So this is just a temporary path at the moment. Still a nice little path, but it's not our permanent path. And that way all the flow will come through right here. Check on these boys out here and see how their work is going here. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon from a sunny, hot day here in the Philippines. So we've had 2 showers at nighttime that were brief little downpours, and that's all we've had since the month of September here in western Visayas in the Iloilo area. Now, there might be another part of Iloilo that might got something a little bit more than we did over here on this side of Iloilo. But in general speaking, that's all there's been. And those came, they evaporated away, they went with the heat. It was just like nothing ever happened. So we're still in a water crisis. We've seen that state of calamity has been declared for several different places in the Philippines. Now I know Manila and some other places finally managed to get some rains up there. I don't know what the long-term effect of those rains are, if they were continuous enough to make a difference. But the heat, the dryness has got 2 things happening. It has a lot of power demand issues, which is causing rolling brownouts again, really straining the power grid. And it's not safe for them to turn it off during the day. There's a lot of people that could get overheated, so they're doing some nighttime turn-offs when it's a little cooler or really early in the morning on those rolling brownouts. And they did a state of calamity as well on water shortages and all on several different provinces around, and over in Bacolod as well, over in Negros. And some big companies are distributing water and all out, brought big water tanks and put them in some communities and all, and bringing trucks and filling those full of water and distributing out to the local communities and all. And that's been happening over here on this island as well. So we're just trying to get past this. Now, where we're here down near the shore, we could pull salt water, but there's a sweet spot just in from the shore that holds a big freshwater table. If you drill too deep, dig too deep, now you're going to go into salt water, and the freshwater will stay up above that salt water. So you don't want to go too deep, but we're just right in that sweet zone that we have never ran out of the water. If somebody goes up a little bit more elevation from the sea and from us, I mean even 30 feet higher than we are, some of them are running out of water because their wells are not deep enough. So they need to get on down deeper to that water table that we're in. And some of those, start getting up another 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 feet higher. There's no water table there for them right now. It's really depleted down. So we've been fortunate that there's still water here. Another thing nice about where we're at, of course, gravity is going to bring all the water to the lowest point, right? Now there could be separate pools that are sealed away separate than this same water table. But the nice thing here is that any rain we get in this sand near here really sinks in fast. It just goes in fast, and it actually, the shallow water table is easily replenished. And that's another benefit we have right here. So far we've held having water, and it's not salty either. But Cap down the road here, in from the beach just a little ways and kind of up a hill just a little bit, he's been out of water for a while and having to have it trucked in. And we just lost our line. It's just done for, because I wasn't going to run constant sprinkler system on it with the water being precious right now. But there is this one kind of grass here, and it's struggling too. But it's trying to come back right now. You see the green right against the concrete there, where it's catching some moisture from under the creek, and I water there all the time. It's trying to recover as best it can in this heat. You can see the strip right there, and there's a little color back in that right there where I've been watering. So I've just been watering this one spot of that particular kind of grass, and there's some more of it right here, and I've been watering it, and there's some new dark spots. It's popping all back out again, dotted there. And we've got a project we're digging out and putting a pipe across the yard, and I saved some plugs of it today, and it's still alive. It's still got green down in there. And so I mixed up a little bit of a weak fertilizer solution in water today, set these over here in the shade, and I water these plugs. And I'm going to plant these plugs around in this line, because this grass really spreads, and hopefully that grass that I like so much will take over here. And I'm going to dig these plugs out next to the sidewalk once we start getting some rains, and move them to and really plug this yard with it. So let's talk about this. We've been redirecting a pipe here this morning, and what we've got here is, this is the overflow from the cistern. The cistern that's underground right here where all this concrete is and where I'm standing. That is the overflow out of it. And before it was going in those fish ponds, when that was just fish ponds over there. But now that's going to be a pool. Well, we don't need it going there. And we also have to have a place that can still overflow. The tanks will fill up and back up on the gutters, and man, it could just be a big old nightmare. So we have to have a way for it to escape. So we dug in across right here, because we're going to be doing some work there soon. That's all going to get covered over. So this is the time to do it. And we buried in a 4-inch line. They pulled a nylon string across, drove some stakes at each end, took the water level and measured down so they can get a grade on it. And we're going here, then we're 45ing it again right across out here. And right now they're working on digging under that beam and chipping under the edge of that beam. Can't go all the way under the beam completely, because it'll mess up our grade. They're going under right there right now, and then we can just let it come out here and flow out on the ground. And we keep stopping on the bridge because we always have something bigger and more important to do. And it was working on getting that formed and getting that poured as soon as possible. So once again, we hit the pause on the bridge, and we went over here and worked on this. So now we're going to hit play again on the bridge. So we'll talk about that. Here you see this lumber laid out. They had laid some boards and let them get really warped by not keeping them stacked properly. So I asked them to get these boards laid down here, get some weight stacked down on them, let them set for a few days. So we got to pick up maybe about 10 more planks to finish out the other end. Plus these right here, we're gonna be knocking that out. Like I say, punch work, punch work. So the number one goal right now, besides getting that line in, the number one goal really for this upcoming week is the bridge. And then it's gonna be time that we're gonna start working on this pond also. The twins' dad, Marlon, and he is just a really good dude. Boy, I like Marlon. He is a armed security guard for the power company. It's been working for him for years. And my neighbor right here on the other side of this cabin is also a long-time armed security guard working for the power company too. They work at 2 different stations. And you say, why does a power company need an armed security guard? Well, a couple reasons why. Because you always got somebody wanting to be a saboteur, you know. And you know, that stuff goes on. People got mean bones in them. Then, you know, of course, power grids are a target, and there's major switches and stuff there. And the other thing, people come there and they make their bill payments right there also at these places. And of course that means money's going on, you know, and all, and you got to have safety where money's at. So that's why they are armed illegal security guards. And you know, things just work a little different than back in the States. Not everything's always got as smooth a flow, but it's their way of doing things. You have to renew your license every so often, and when they renew it, they have them to do a new health checkup, you know, physical exam, all these things, make sure they don't have anything going on and all. And so it's like they don't have you to do it in advance. they have you to do it all the way when it expired. Like, they don't want you to do it before it expired. You got to wait. So now he's going to be off work for a month processing his renewal to go back to work again. And then somebody will fill his spot from another branch, or like somebody under his command, lower than him, will fill his spot while he's out doing that. If he don't get paid during that time, that's a straight up loss. So he's without work and any income, and he's got to pay for all that licensing renewal. And it's not cheap, because you got to go pay the actual fees for renewing your license like that. And of course, if you spend any time in the Philippines, it's a country with a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of steps, you know. And I'm not saying these things to rouse anybody's feathers, or I'm not meaning that insulting. It's just telling the honest truth, especially compared to what we're used to in some other places. So there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of, you know, you got to go here now you got to go here, now you got to go here, you got to go back over there again, you got to come back over here again, and then you got to go turn this in, and then they might say, oh, they missed this, or this ain't right, and you know what I mean. And so he's got a lot of expenses out to get that done too. And then if he don't give it done, well, then that's the opportunity for somebody else to advance their career, because now you're out and somebody else is in, like Flynn. So you can't hesitate either, but it takes money. So Marlon is wanting some work for the next month over here. And I told Melinda I can do that. I can do that. He comes and helps sometimes anyway, whenever he can. He's a good guy. I really like him. It's her oldest brother. And he's a really good guy. So I've got some stuff that he can do. I ordered in some materials that'll be delivered here early this next week. And I'm going to put him and maybe a helper with him on a couple projects here that aren't absolutely necessary, but it will help my brother out, and it will help his family out, and it'll help his career go on longer. So sometimes we do things here that we don't have to be doing. Sometimes we just create work, okay? Will this work benefit me? Yeah, it'll benefit me. It'll be beneficial. But is it a necessary job that just had to be done? No, it's not. We could have done without it, or done longer without it till I could put the others on it. But instead of just handing him money, well, that's not good, just to be handing out money like candy. I know there's some of you out there with bleeding hearts, you know, and think, oh, you should just become a social welfare system when you come to the Philippines. That's not good. You know, there's one thing helping somebody that's crippled, absolutely can't do nothing. There's a lot of people here that even if they had opportunity, they don't take it. And we've seen that firsthand. And money not worked for is money not respected. So he has no problem working for it. Let me tell you, he's the kind of guy, he'd rather work for it than take a handout. A handout, he'll take it, but he's going to feel weird about it because he's a good guy. And he'll be excited, oh, I got this or whatever. But it's not the same if he had to put a little work in for it. And he likes to work, so it's not an issue. He does not like to be idle. So that's another good trait in him that maybe some others don't have. So that's why we're going to do this. So I'm not trying to put personal business out like that. It's the reason I share these stories. It's not about drama, or some people, oh, you're telling your family's personal information. That should be private. I'm a vlogger, and they know I'm a vlogger. And a vlogger, the type I am, is I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help the people around me here, and I'm trying to help you all learn about a culture, learn the way things go on, and maybe even give you a few tips. So that's all part of the journey. It's just part of it, okay? I got them back out here digging out the pond. We're expanding that around the back of the boat. Hey, let me think about that. That right there needs to go straight over, right there. Yeah, and we may have to break where we made all that cement there before. Yeah, bring that straight over. And yeah, keep digging it down. Dig that back there deeper too across. Just leave that higher where the boat is, but around here, bring it down, slope it. Yeah. Well, this is all looking good too right here, man. Getting it all shaped out. That's about 4 foot high right there. Garage grilling, right? Yes. Garage grilling. It's my camping right now. Look, she has a fork ready. Look at that.
Serve your queen.
Serve my queen. Yeah, man. I am garage grilling, boy. Look at this. Ooh, man. It's got bacon, onion, tomato, cheese. Man, look at that fine garage grilling right there, boy. Right there. Using plastic chairs. Cooler for a table. Hanging in the garage. I take good care of you, Donna. So, eat up, Buttercup.
Thank you.
I don't know if I have a fork. I forgot to ask. I don't know if I have one. I'll look and see. So Melinda spread hers out, but boy, it's loaded, ain't it? It's like a bunless burger out there.
Yep.
I mean, everything of a burger with just no bun. You like that, huh? Living the life. We built a great big house and we grill in the garage. Yeah, grilling in the garage, boy. Good stuff, huh?